Hello guys, welcome to another session of Surface Chemistry. In this session, we will be discussing about enzyme catalysis. We will see the mechanism of enzyme catalysis and some of the very important and characteristic properties of them. So let's go through it. So first of all, what are enzyme catalysis or what is an enzyme? Okay, so enzyme are basically protein molecules of high molecular mass. Okay, so these are actually complex nitrogenous organic compounds which are produced by living plants and animals. Okay, so it is by produced by living plants and animals, because what happens is there are numerous reactions that occurs inside the body of plants and animal. Like for example, we consume food, then we convert that food into our energy. Okay, so it's not simple like food is not energy. Basically there are a lot of enzymes which are working towards the maintenance of the life process. Okay, so all these maintenance of life process are actually catalyzed by enzymes. So enzymes, thus we can term them as biochemical catalyst, and the phenomena is known as biochemical catalysis. Okay. Now, some of the examples of enzymes are listed here. You can see invertase, zymase, dietase, maltase, urease, pepsin. Okay, so all these enzymes, they convert some catalytic reactions. Okay, sorry, they give some they act as catalyst. Okay, like for example, invertase is a catalyst to convert sucrose into glucose and fructose. Zymase is catalyst for glucose, which is getting converted into ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide. Starch to maltose requires dietase. Okay, maltose to glucose conversion requires maltase. Okay, then urea is converted in presence of urease to ammonia and carbon dioxide. Same way, pepsin is converting proteins into amino acid. You can see some of the reactions are listed here. Okay, you do not have to memorize the reaction, but you have to know which are the enzyme and what it is converting into which products. Okay, so just go through all this. Same way, we also know that other, like for example, pancreatic trypsin is the another enzyme which converts protein into amino acid by hydrolysis. Same way, a conversion of milk into curd, that is happening because of lactobacilli enzyme which is present inside curd. Okay, please go through all this. Next is characteristics of enzyme catalysis. Now, this is very important. So they are most highly efficient. Okay, basically one molecule of enzyme may transform 1 million molecules of the reactant per minute. Okay, so they are very, very efficient. They are highly specific in nature. Okay, that means one catalyst cannot catalyze more than one reaction. Okay, highly specific in nature. Remember, we are using highly, mostly, highly, because they are very, very particular. They are highly active under optimum temperature. Okay, since they are present inside living body, the optimum temperature is approximately 298 to 300 Kelvin. Okay, if the temperature is too low, the enzyme will not work. If the temperature is too high, enzyme will not work again. Okay, so either on the either side of the optimum temperature, the enzyme activity decreases. So it is optimum only under such temperature condition. Same way, enzymes are highly active under optimum pH. Usually pH values are between 5 and 7. So that is your optimum pH for enzyme to be highly active. Also, the increasing activity in presence of activators and coenzyme. So basically enzyme activity is increased in presence of certain substances which are known as coenzyme. Activators, which are generally metals, that is Na plus, Mn2 plus, CO2 plus, Cu2 plus. So these are the activators. So when they are present, the activity of catalyst is actually enhanced. So it is acting as a promoter, or it is acting as a coenzyme. Okay, that is how we use. Like for example, amylase in presence of sodium chloride, that is Na plus ion, the catalytic activity is very, very high. Okay, next and the last property is influence of inhibitors and poisons. So inhibitors are the one, or poisons are the one, which are reducing or completely destroying the activity of the catalyst. Okay, that is the enzyme here. So they are very dependent on inhibitors and poisons also. If inhibitor and poisons are present, they may completely destroy its activity. Now, mechanism of enzyme catalysis. Okay, remember that I said that they are highly specific. Okay, so highly specific. Basically, what happens is the molecules of the reactant that are called as substrate here. So you can see this is the substrate. So this is like kind of a lock, and this is a key. Okay, so this is the activated site, and this is the enzyme. So only one particular enzyme can give the activated complex or the complex, and final products will be given. Other enzyme will not act. That's why we say that these are highly specific. So basically it's like a lock and key mechanism, since only one enzyme can give the product. Okay, so the enzyme comes and gets attached to the activated site. You get the activated complex, you can say enzyme substrate complex, and then what happens, the products are formed. Okay, so basically here the activated complex is formed, and then it decomposes to yield the final product. Thus enzyme catalyzed reaction may be considered as two step process. Okay, first is binding of enzyme to substrate to form the activated complex. So E plus S, that is enzyme plus substrate, gives you the activated complex, and then the decomposition of activated complex to form the product. So this is the complex which gives you E plus P, where P is the product. Okay, now some of the catalysts in our industry that are used. So in Haber's process, we know that is used for manufacturing of ammonia. This is the reaction. We use finely divided iron, Fe, in presence of molybdenum, Mo, that is acting as a promoter. Okay, also you can note down the condition is 200 bar of pressure and approximately 723 to 773 Kelvin of temperature. In Oswald process also, that is for manufacturing of nitric acid, we use platinized asbestos, and the temperature is 573 Kelvin. Same way, contact process for the manufacturing of sulfuric acid, H2SO4, we use platinized asbestos or vanadium pentoxide, V2O5. Temperature condition approximately this, that is 700 Kelvin. So that's it in this part. This makes the end of the first half of this topic. In the second half, we will be discussing about colloids and its property, how to make colloid solution and all. Okay, thank you.